Welcome back, Endgame community. I'm Pierre, he's Chris. We're here to talk about our favorite boom picks for week 16. Guys we think might be in store to win you your week. Let's get started, Chris. Who's a guy that you like in week 16?
Here's a name I guarantee you did not think you'd be hearing about in week 16 of the 2021 fantasy football season, and that is Craig Reynolds, undrafted free agent in 2019. Craig Reynolds of the Detroit Lions, but here we are. DeAndre Swift doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. I don't even know why they haven't put him on IR yet. Just end the season, please. Jamal Williams, probably not coming back. And without those two, it's been the Craig Reynolds show. He has 99 and 117 total yards the last two games, and those were against pretty good defenses in Denver and Arizona. Now he gets Atlanta. Not a very good defense. They just made Jeff Wilson look like a league winner again, like he was last year. That's how bad this defense is. So I think Craig Reynolds easily goes over 100 yards again in this game against Atlanta. And I think he has a great chance to finally score a touchdown and actually boom for fantasy teams and be that random league winner in week 16 that no one, thought was coming. But here it is. It happens every year. I think this year it's Craig Reynolds.
There's always a guy that comes out of nowhere at the end of the year, like last year was Jeff Wilson. And those of us who thought we were so smart stashing Jamar Jefferson, no, it's the Craig Reynolds show somehow. All right, so a little less obscure name, but somebody who has really been fading from relevance, that's Jamar Chase. And man, were you sad if you started him last week? Only one catch for 3 yards. I mean, at this point, you probably just want to rage quit and drop him or bench him. But don't do that. Look, last week it was Denver. That's a really good defense. They've been playing a lot better lately. I think it's going to be a little different with Baltimore. This is going to be a higher scoring matchup, but also been talking about this last couple of weeks. Baltimore become a funnel defense. Tough against the run, better to pass against them, much easier. So I think there's a good chance that Chase does beat man coverage, gets deep. Look, just before last week, he had a 2-touchdown game, so don't let recency bias fool you into benching Chase. This is a week where he could go off again and have a huge fantasy day. All right, give me another boom that you like.
We finally got to see James Robinson in the role he should have had the entire year for this Jaguars offense. Urban Meyer gone, James Robinson, the clear lead back, the every down back, finally came through for your fantasy team when it mattered most in the fantasy playoffs, and now he gets the juiciest matchup you can possibly have for a running back, and that's the Jets. And in case you're not sure that the Jets matchup really is that juicy, just look at what Duke Johnson did against him last week. That's right, Duke Johnson had his best game as a professional in 5 years, 6 years against the Jets. So if he can do that, James Robinson can do even better. James Robinson, smash week coming up. This is why you traded for him. He's going to come through for you. Absolutely going to be a week winner in week 16.
All right, so I'm going to go with another kind of up and down wide receiver. Hard to predict when the boom weeks are going to come for Mike Williams, just like with Chase. But look, this could be the week, and I'll tell you why, because he's facing Houston. Houston defense, not known for being what you would call good. But also in terms of wide receivers, the last 8 weeks, they've given up the second most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. And even though he, again, hasn't been a guy who you can really rely on from week to week, the target share is there. For the past 6 weeks, he's gotten at least 6 targets, sometimes touching double digits. So as long as he's got some opening, he'll get plenty of separation, I think, in this matchup. I'm going to call a boom week for Mike Williams. And when he booms big. So this is definitely the week you want to put him in your lineup. All right, Chris, let's keep it going. Give me another guy that you like in week 16.
I've also got a boom bust wide receiver for you, but he's been booming more than busting lately, and that is Tyler Lockett. I know he didn't play in week 15 out with COVID, but he should be cleared by the week 16 matchup, and if he is, he's going to absolutely boom because it's Chicago, who's terrible against wide receivers. And look, for whatever reason, the Russ DK connection is not there. It's the Russ Tyler Lockett connection, right? They're the two that have been on the same page. They've been making it happen. Tyler Lockett's been booming week after week lately. I think he keeps it going here in week 16. So if you missed him with COVID last week, but you survived on to week 16, put him back in your lineup. He's going to go off.
All right, definitely agree with you there. I guess let's keep the theme going. Now, this guy has been a little less boom bust, but Brandon Cooks, it's hard to get much going into Houston. I was just talking about how bad their defense is. that comes into play because it helps the wide receivers because they have to pass the ball a lot, and plus the fact they don't really have a running game. And so who do they have to throw to? Well, it's Brandon Cooks, and it's Brandon Cooks. All right, that's it. He's still one of the leaders in target share percentage, top 5 on the season, and we saw had a 100+ yard game last week. The key here is that they seem to finally have decent quarterback play. Davis Mills looking better. The Cooks-Mills connection is there, so I think you've got to roll with him. This week, going against the Chargers, I know that doesn't look like a great matchup on paper because the Chargers are a pretty good pass defense, but the fact that Chargers are going to score a lot of points means there's going to be a lot of targets to go to Brandon Cooks. So I think you got to put him in your lineup. All right, let's finish strong with another boom pick.
How about a tight end boom? How about Zach Ertz? Seems to have found a great home in Arizona. And last week, no DeAndre Hopkins. Rondell Moore missed a good percentage of that game. And he had 11 targets and 6 catches against Detroit. And yeah, you think, okay, that was against Detroit. But now he gets Indy. And believe it or not, Indy's a better matchup for tight ends, giving up the 5th most fantasy points to the position. So with Rondell Moore likely out, Hopkins already out, that means more targets to go to Zach Ertz. He gets the end zone looks. He gets the red zone looks. I think he's going to have a monster week here in week 16. So if you lost Travis Kelce with COVID, I mean, let's hope he somehow plays. But if he doesn't play and you need a tight end, or if you've been streaming tight ends, if Zach Ertz is available, you've got to get him in your lineup. I think he's going to be a top 5 tight end in week 16.
All right, now when I think booms at tight end, I think Gronk smash. All right, and Gronk is going to smash finally this week. Didn't do it. That whole offense, I mean, really got shut out. It was just one of those weeks. It was one of those weeks for everybody in fantasy. Let's just be honest. We want to forget and move on. Tampa Bay will do that, but they're not going to have Chris Godwin for sure. Really tough blow for them, out for the season. Mike Evans, good chance he misses too. And then Leonard Fournette, who had not just been their main runner, but also catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. That means there's a lot of targets left over. Who's first in line? Maybe Antonio Brown, if he plays, if he's, healthy and, back to his normal self. But I have a feeling Gronk's going to be the leading receiver here. And look, even though he did nothing for your fantasy team last week, he got 11 targets. It's kind of insane. He had 11 targets, only caught 2 of them. But that was just a bad matchup, bad situation, just everything bad juju for them last week. It's going to be a lot better against Carolina. Trust me, Carolina is the team that's kind of free-falling, ready for the season to be over. So I think Gronk has his breakout game of the season. You've got to put him, of course, in your lineup in fantasy, but I'm going to rely on him in DFS lineups as an anchor because this is one of those weeks where he could absolutely smash. All right, those are our favorite boom picks. Guys, besides our videos that we do each and every week to try to help you set those winning lineups, there's a lot of ways that we can help you win. If you interact with us, check out the description below for more information. We'll see you in our Discord and also hopefully in our Start Sit show we do live every weekend. All right, good luck.